Hey Math8, just want to take a few minutes here at the beginning of the week and clarify what the assignments are from this week, and also to kind of comment on some of the questions and things I got from last week. So last week on your HyperDoc, you should have completed 4 activities. The quizzes do count as activities, so when you do that quiz in the bottom box, you absolutely can count that. However, anything that you're doing, you need to show work for. So whether that's an ed puzzle, whether that's a quiz, whether that's a Delta Math, or quizzes, you're not gonna get credit just for giving me that bar. And I explained that last week in the video, so if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can always go back and rewatch that. But you should be submitting work with that as well. So either on a piece of notebook paper, or if you're actually printing out a worksheet and doing it on there, that's fine too. But you need to show me something that has your step-by-step work on it. So just showing me a screenshot of something being completed, this is different than what we did before. You actually have to show me your work. So make sure you're keeping your work organized, that you're working through things, taking pictures of them, and then that's what you're going to submit to me in the Google Slides. So again, an ed puzzle, it's great if you complete it, but if you're not showing me your work, you're not going to get credit for just going through and watching it. You have to show me that you took notes, that you did the examples, you worked through them. Show me that show me that picture of your work, and then you're good to go with that. So make sure you're doing that stuff as you go. My goal is not to have to make you go back and redo stuff, but if I can't see your work, I can't give you credit for that stuff. So that is a little bit different. Make sure you're doing your work, showing your work, and that you're submitting it the way I had asked you to do on the Google slide. Again, if you need more clarification on that, go back and watch last week's video, step-by-step guidelines of what needs to be there in order to get credit for those slides. So moving into this week, you have 4 more activities to do on that HyperDoc. So you're just going to take wherever you left off last week and keep going from there. Again, if you're good with the topics, it should just be a matter of doing a practice, doing the quiz, doing the practice, doing the quiz. If you're struggling with them, then if the activity's hard, I would advise you to go back to a guided practice. Then go back to that practice and take the quiz. So you could be spending all 4 activities in one box this week. That's totally fine. So as you go up in the boxes, they're going to get more difficult. So last week should have been a pretty easy review of some of the equations that we've been solving. This week's gonna be a little tougher, so make sure that you're taking the time that you need. Again, I don't care how far you're getting in the boxes as long as you're making progress, and that you're actually doing the activities, learning the material, learning those processes, because that's what you're gonna start algebra with next year, so that's why we're doing this. Last thing I want to clarify is how these are going to be graded. So it is going to be out of 12 points. So you had 4 activities last week, you have 4 activities this week, and then you're going to have 4 activities next week. So in the grade book, it's going to be out of 12. So the highest possible grade you could have right now is a 4 out of 12. Don't freak out when you see that in the grade book. It is a work in progress. I'm going to add to it at the end of this week. But I want to put something in there so that it shows you the progress you're making toward getting that done. So it's going to be out of 12 because that's the total, but don't freak out. You don't need to do it all this week. It's coming next week. So 4 activities a week. So if you did 4 last week, you should have a 4 out of 10. That means you're right where you need to be. At the end of this week, if you complete your 4 activities, you'll have an 8 out of 10. Which is where you need to be. And then the following week, you'll do 4 more activities, and then you'll get your, I keep saying 10, I'm sorry, it's out of 12. So 4 out of 12, then 8 out of 12, then 12 out of 12. I've already refilmed this twice because I misspoke. I'm not gonna do it again. So it's out of 12. Again, however many activities you complete is gonna be your grade there. But it doesn't need to be done all right now. You've got till the end of next week to get all 12 of those done. So feel free to email any questions that you have. Again, check out the videos that are there first. There's a lot of information there about what you need to be doing, what you need to be submitting, but always feel free to reach out. I'm here. Also, we've got those live note sessions, so if you want to do that, come to the live note sessions. Feel free to bring any problems that you're working on. So what I kind of do is just gauge who's there, what they need, and we just go through some examples based on that. So hope you guys are doing well. Get your work done this week. We got 4 more activities on your HyperDoc. See ya.